and welcome back with another episode of Students' Life Let's Decode the College Clubs. And today we have with us the team of Shaashwat. So hello guys, will you please introduce yourself?
Sure, I am Lavesh Jaikar and I am the advisory board to the team.
So hello, this is Sharayu and serving as a president this year.
So myself Prasad Rane and I am currently the vice president of Shaashwat Club.
Hello, I am Gayatri Joshi and I am currently serving as the secretary of this team.
Hello, this is Dastagir Mulani and I am currently serving as senior UBA technical head for this year.
Okay, I'm very pleased to have you all here. So with no further delay, let's get started. So what is Shaashwat as a club?
Shaashwat, an eco-sustainability club. Shaashwat, the word Shaashwat is derived from Sanskrit literature actually, and the word meaning is eternal, continuous. That we can say that Shaashwat, the whole team is continuous, eternal. So I can add one more point, that is from the Himalayas, from the mountains till the beneath of the earth, whatever comes in between that harms in nature, Shaashwat comes into play, and that is actually Shaashwat.
Okay. So how did the Shaashwat come into existence?
So there was a student by the name of Ashish Joshi and he was a civil department student. And being into civil department, I think he already had that inspiration of fact that we have had enough, destructions to the mankind, and that is when he was always an enthusiast and insolvent to his ideas, and that is where, he tried to find out a movement that can start inside the campus. And I think with the help of Mahajan ma'am and some of the other faculty advisory that was there, the term Shaashwat came into play, and then Shaashwat came as the civil department club. But when I went on to be the department head for Shaashwat in 2020, at that time Shaashwat went on to become an institute level club. So now Shaashwat is not just resisted towards civil, but it has each and every department that is concerned, may it be computer science, IT, electrical, and many people think that it's only civil people who are there, who get that sense of responsibility. But I think being into computers, I know what it means to give out to the society and to the nature. So I think that is how Shaashwat is formed. But I think overall Shaashwat is formed out of its team. With every team we have a new spirit coming through. With every team we have a different community that we get. And so that is how Shaashwat comes into existence every year.
Okay. So what is the mission and vision of your club, and who should join this club?
So the mission of the Shaashwat Club is to encourage the students studying in this institute to move towards the sustainable growth, so that it will be easy for us to live in the future. And the mission of this club is to serve the nature as well as to create some projects which will help in the growth of mankind as well as the nature.
Okay. What are the various activities that are planned under this club?
So talking about the activities conducted in this club, so firstly, when this club was formed, this club was in collaboration with the Kirloskar Foundation. So they had an initiative to clean the rivers and all with the help of our Shaashwat Students Club. So the first event that took place in collaboration with the Kirloskar was the campaign which took on the Pavna River, situated in this city. So later the Waterman of India, that is the Mr. Rajendra Singh, he visited our campus. They had brainstorming sessions together with our club, and they came by a solution that we will form a new term known as a river police. So just recently they have launched a concept known as river police. So we are a part of that river police, and we are proud to represent as a river police. And talking more about the activities conducted, so the students conducted the eco-friendly Ganesh idol making competition. Though it was not a competition, but it was a workshop basically. And later, as we all know, we have survived the pandemic. So during that pandemic, our students, our club members were not like silent and just enjoying the vacation and all, but they were active throughout the social media. So the main motive of Shaashwat Club during the pandemic was to encourage people to move forward in life with the help of social media. So activities conducted during the pandemic were like myths versus fact, which was the main one. So we had an initiative to post a myths versus fact through our social media page so that it will reach to maximum people. And later we had stay active 60 and also challenge of the week. So in this event we had given a challenge, like for example we gave students a challenge to meditate for at least 1 minute or 60 seconds. So they have to capture themselves, they had to meditate and capture themselves and post on the Instagram, and later they needed to tag us, and then we would share their stories, reshare, and in this way we completed that online. And after the pandemic was over, like the first event which we took offline, like on ground event, was Mishtanna. So Mishtanna was one of the very successful event which took place after the pandemic. So this was basically a sweet donation drive. Later we had a collaborative event with the Isha Foundation, that is an initiative by Sadhguru, and we are proud that we are having a collaboration with them. So we had a team from Isha Foundation which came in a campus, and they encouraged us, our students, to take part in the Safe Soil event, so that we will be more means we will get more knowledge about the soil and how cultivating crops and all affect cultivating same crops and all affect the soil land. So this was the event on safe soil. And as I told earlier that we have a term as a river police. So that was means declared or initiated in our campus. So we are proud that we are a part of river police. And also we had an event on Save Water, like World Water Day is celebrated every year. So World Water Day event was celebrated in a campus as well, where we had guests throughout the campus. And later we had a competition where students had to give the speech on how we can save water and preserve water.
I would like to add to this one thing. It's been 3 years that I've been working with different teams. But what makes Shaashwat different to any other team that I've worked with is that Shaashwat doesn't look for big collaborators first thing. They don't look for where the graph is really going. They just take whatever comes their way. How small or how big doesn't differentiate them onto volunteering to the events. Whether we are on the up foot or we are on the back foot doesn't matter for us. What really matters for Shaashwat as a team is to really work and just give it out to the society, to the environment, as in being an eco-sustainability club. And that is what has kept me, being with Shaashwat. Now this is my 3rd year as the advisory board with Shaashwat, starting as department head and then the vice presidency to the board. But I think what is different with the team is majority of the team that is there in Shaashwat basically are people from small towns and rural areas who have these, strong intentions to give back to their areas, because they exactly have seen what kind of conditions that their farms are facing. And that is where, such people come into play, such people have those spirits that come into play, and every of that energy resonate together. And that is how Shaashwat just seems different and have that sparkling effect altogether. So I think this is the biggest thing that has kept me, going with Shaashwat.
Okay.
So as you can see, like everything everyone mentioned here has something that is beyond environment. Like not everything is for the environment, it's something for the society, something for urbanization, and in general a growth of a human. So basically whatever collaborations, partnerships and events that we take are associated with some of the other sustainable development goal. So this is like proposed by the United Nations, and it is a global aspect which is to be followed by everyone. And that's how an eco-sustainability club is not just bound to ecology but the diversity around us.
Yeah, exactly. The point you mentioned, that it is beyond just sustainability and all. That's what makes Shaashwat unique. And I really appreciate the events and all. They're really amazing. Okay, so how does Shaashwat follow the SDGs?
So like as mentioned by Prasad, so all the activities we have taken in these 5 years every activity is taken on some day which is celebrated across the world. And these days are actually associated with any of the sustainable development goals. So there are actually 17 sustainable development goals proposed by the United Nations, and there are around 193 countries which globally follow these rules. So any industry that is existing or is going to come into the market, they have to follow these goals to sustain into the market. Else there are some protocols which are being like ruined and they have to undergo some rules after that. So because of this, the thing is that our club is trying to spread the word about SDGs. Majorly people have no idea what are the goals and how do we follow them. Like he told about Kirloskar and the Safe Soil event. So these are the collaboration and partnerships that we did. So indirectly here we followed the 17 goal called Partnership for the Goals. Then during the recruitment process, there was a student who came with the project idea that she has a project, she has an app that is going to connect the NGOs that require food, or like the NGOs that have children with them, and the restaurants. So whenever there is a chance that restaurants has some extra food, they can share the information on that application, and the required NGOs can contact and get the food. So this is how one more SDG is followed, that is zero hunger. So similarly, all the events like the Save Water event that we had, it follows the life underwater. Then there is life on land, which is again associated with Save Soil, because life on land is also connected to agriculture. Even the zero hunger one is also connected with quality food and quality agricultural products and all. So in general, all the activities are taken into consideration such that these 17 goals are followed. Tracing back to the year 1992, like if we think about what exactly sustainable goals are, so back then there were only eight goals which had two genres, like the human development and environment development. Later on in the year 2012, it was decided to keep 5P system, which includes people, prosperity, partnership, and the other prospects that have been considered. So in this way, this is not just bound to the environment and people. Now it is also towards the institute levels, the like industries in our country. And we also we think about the technical aspect. So one of the domains in IT and CS industry is the cloud computing. Even this industry as a whole is basically based completely on sustainable growth, wherein they guarantee no carbon footprints.
Okay. So, as you guys said, you are also associated with Kirloskar in some of their movements. So, what would you like to say about it?
So, as you might know, Kirloskar is a prestigious company in India. It is in a fluid industry. So, it is like $5 billion company. So, it is very big company. So, we are associated with them, like Prasad said, in their various movements, and we had that international film festival in our campus, which was noted by even Times of India even written about it. And in it in that film festival, Kirloskar basically does what it basically recognizes the people who are working for the nature and felicitate them, give recognition to them in this film festival. And also they bring awareness about nature and various aspects of nature in this film festival. Also, we like Prasad said, we are associated with Kirloskar in that another event called River Police. So the River Police event is basically the prime event of Kirloskar, and we are associated with them. Our whole team is a part of that River Police, and in that River Police, what Kirloskar does is they are basically trying to bring out the older, cleaner days to rivers in India and mainly in Pune. So our whole team is part of that, and Kirloskar kind of respect us because we had done that kind of work, and that respect is worth it for Shaashwat, because we have done many things for Kirloskar. and that's why they respect us.
So adding to Dastagir's point, actually we were serving as a BOD last year, so we were knowing something about Kirloskar. But this year, as a core team, we went there. Lavish was also there, and we were like, okay, welcome Kirloskar, sir and all, ma'am. So they were like, "Arey, we know you, Shaashwat. Very nice." Matlab, they were like respecting us so nicely that we got into that consideration that, oh my God, 5 years happened, and we were happy to say that Kirloskar and Vasudhara Foundation, we are collaborating with 5 years.
It's a 5 year relationship, long-term relationship, and I think the major thing that really happened is, first of all, obviously the veneration that we get towards Kirloskar or from Kirloskar, but I think more than that, the team getting to know that companies like Kirloskar are there still working towards eco-sustainability and following those sustainable development goals that have been set by United Nations. So I think that is the beauty of each and every collaborations that we have done.
Okay, so as an engineer, we primarily tend towards the industry expertise. So how does Shaashwat contribute towards it?
Okay. As an engineer, I would like to answer this question. So SDGs is not followed by only Shaashwat Club or a particular human being. SDGs is followed by every human being living in this planet, right? So there are several companies that follows SDGs. For example, Dell, Wipro, Microsoft, Vasundhara Foundation, as my friend said, Kirloskar, that is. Then we have Intel, IBM, Persistent. I'll tell one story about Persistent. Me and Dastagir, my friend, went and in the company of Persistent, and for the Call for Code event. What is Call for Code actually? Call for Code, a global event, I can say, an hackathon, which is on the theme of sustainable development. So we can see that Persistent is an IT company, right? So they are following SDGs, and we are happy to say that we have attended that session. And one story about Intel, that is, I can say, 15,000 of plastic tons had been converted into 4,000 of pencil covers, which can be saving 489 trees. That is 90 million carbon dioxide is being not reduced. So we can say not only a small amount of clubs or people, but a big companies can be contributing SDGs. So that is a big thankful to them.
So adding to a point, for our Ozone Day event, we invited the CEO of Purnam Ecovision Foundation. So their work actually is about, they have collection centers across Pune wherein they collect all the e-waste that is generated in Pune. So we can go and collect our all the appliances that we have which we are not using right now, and they recycle it and they donate it to the one who are in need. So again, when in the recruitment process, there was one girl who was using the laptop which she received from Purnam Ecovision Foundation.
And I think adding to this, as far as engineer as an expertise is concerned, I think whatever you see here, they are talking, they are having confidence in themselves and representation as an individual having their own personality. This is what any team rather in the campus would give you. And with Shaashwat, the advantage is we have professional development as well as we have a lot of things that we do with the society. So we are always connected. We are not theoretical based. We are always on site working towards everything. So as far as engineering is concerned as a whole, if you think in general, what does Shaashwat do? Shaashwat is an eco-sustainability club. They would be planting trees, this and that, but we don't resist ourselves just planting trees. But we also make sure that we bring out leaders who exactly know how to lead a team that would make our motto, goal and vision that we had here on a very small scale go forward to whichever base they are landed to. And that is what the beauty is with, not only with Shaashwat but with any other team that is concerned.
So we can say that not only a social club or a technical club, but
Yes.
clubbing these both words, we can call it a socio-technology club. That is combining people-oriented and technology-oriented projects and events.
Great. So there's one more module under Shaashwat called Unnat Bharat Abhiyan. So what would you like to contribute on it?
So, Unnat Bharat Abhiyan, UBA, So UBA is basically an initiative, a program by AMHRD, Ministry of Human and Resource Development, which was started in 2014. So in this UBA, what government tried, the government instructed higher technical institutes to adopt some villages and look after them. So in these villages, they have the institutes have to find 5 to 4 core problems and find their solutions on the institute level. So this is it, and along with it, if they need any fund, then government will supply that fund. This is it.
Okay.
So adding to that, so as Unnat Bharat Abhiyan is an initiative by government, so how are we contributing towards that villages? So now we have currently adopted 5 different villages nearby our campus, and in that villages we do visit that villages and try to recognize their problems so that we can give a solution in the form of a technical solution, or it may be any other solution as well.
So in UBA, we basically go visit the village. We try to ask villagers about their problems. We ask principal of schools about their problems, and we basically come upon some problems. We derive some problems, and in campus we have a team of 5. So we discuss all this and bring out solution as we are engineers. So we are having technically sound knowledge. So we derive one solution, and if that solution is feasible and can be implemented by us only, then we implement the solution right there. But if that solution requires some kind of fund, then that we apply for that fund to UBA, and UBA allows that fund, and when that fund comes, we provide that solution, that we do that work in that village.
UBA has almost 3 stages on how Unnat Bharat Abhiyan works. One is the survey stage, then is the research stage, and then there is an action or the implementation stage. So we have already done with our survey and research under the 5 villages that we have been adopted under JSPM institutes. And now what we are trying to do is, we being an engineer from different disciplines, computer, IT, CS, to every other disciplines that we have in the team, we as a team of different disciplines make sure that our technicality, works for them in the village. The problems are different, because here sitting theoretically in labs is different, and actually going there on site and working towards what is the actual problem on site is very different. So I think with UBA, that's a real checker on how much technically are we really inclined as engineers, and that gives it a very different avenue altogether, because that is one thing that not many students get to know, or many students don't have that hands-on experience that me, my team, and the community that we have has really. So that is also with UBA. So Shaashwat is not just with eco-sustainability, as I said, but as I always said right from the first sentence, that it's also with the society. So yes, UBA is the umbrella that comes with Shaashwat.
So Shaashwat have completed the 5 years, and UBA and Shaashwat have completed the 5 years, I can say. And under UBA we have 5 villages: Kasalsai, Katar, Kadak, Nere, Marunje. So these 5 villages we have been contributing. We go there, we look out those students that are studying in that rural villages. Rather than everything, that smile at the end of the event that student give is awesome. Matlab, you have a bad day, the whole bad day, and that you just go to that event and look at the smiles that student have is something awesome. I cannot, we can give it without money or cash payments.
It always gives you, like with the community or with the team, we are like a small family under a big crowd,
Absolutely.
what we call it, peace under the chaos, or peace in the chaos, whatever we call it. So that is how we really work. We are there we bonk upon each other and we do everything that is. Now I'm into advisory board, but I still go and thumb their.
Yeah, we always call him, come on, Lavesh, we need
So
to
that is
plan."
how and it's also not about the call that they make. It's also about if I feel I go. That is how it really works. It just doesn't work always on the respect that they'll call and I'll go. That is not how it works in here. That is the beauty behind Shaashwat.
So there are many things that you are from technical background, sir. Why you always do social work. So that is not a social work actually. I told you that social and technology, socio technology club. It is a
It's
socio technology club.
It's technicalities in an hands-on experience that
So
we are.
every individual, every human being on this earth, living this on this earth, can save nature, protect nature, and I can say serve this kind of small things that might get happiness. So that is all Shaashwat, I can say.
Absolutely. So basically, what is the technical scenario of UBA?
So in UBA, so we have to derive problems from the villages and think about that problem. So many times these problems are such that being the village don't have that technical knowledge and technical things in that. So we as an engineer have knowledge of it. So our all team basically tries to means bring out things and bring out the help technically, means we thought over a problem and bring a solution. That is.
Recently, we have done solar lamp event in those villages. I think so, Marunji, I guess.
Yes.
And see, these rural people, they don't have much technical knowledge. So now recently we have been planning for bookshelf drive. That is, we will be collecting books from all the department of our college and one bookshelf, and we'll be providing them so that knowledge can be gained more.
And it's not about drives that we make. It's all about, even though we collect books, we'll make sure that we sort them out. It's not that we give out anything that come to us. Maybe we'll serve some books afterwards in some other drive, but we make sure where we are actually going, we make sure we have done our homework right, because we just don't want to give something which would be seen in crap, like you generally see. So that is also one of the things that we keep in mind always when we go for such drives.
Yes, and the relation between these 5 villages and us is now grown up so well that they actually contact us frequently, knowing whether we are going to visit them or not also. Because they expect something, and the responsibility, the tick that we get, that yes, we are responsible and we have to give something to them, that actually keeps us going and keeps UBA and Shaashwat together forever.
And recently we had attended a Gram Sabha in Gaunze, and it was a thrilling experience. Like first time we went to a Gram Sabha and they were like discussing all their problems, and we were just noting down all their problems and trying to give out the solutions on that. So it was just a surreal experience for us all.
So that 2 modules are important. Shaashwat something technical and UBA something social. So social technology club, and we are actually influenced by SAF Water, that is IIT Bombay students. The technology they have been using, that is AI technology and machine learning technology, cleaning of water, SAF water. So not only any particular department is associated with Shaashwat, the whole department, I can say the whole, any stream, it might be engineering or it might be medical students, pharmacy students, all can participate in Shaashwat.
So you in this, so you have to have that feeling to do something for society, something for nature. So if you have that feeling in you, then you can be part of Shaashwat.
Recently, you also have been partnered with the revolutionary movement of Save Soil by Isha Foundation. So, what would you like to add on this?
So as everybody knows, Isha Foundation as a whole, it's a different aura of an organization altogether. The foundation itself has lot of prospects, lots of aspects that a person like Sadhguru works upon himself, because he exactly knows where we are heading towards. And I think with the launch of Safe Soil and being a magnanimous movement like that, I think me and my team, I think we have been in contact with them, and that is how we really got partnered with Safe Soil, with the movement itself. And then we had, an awareness drive towards what actually is Safe Soil and what are the limitations, what are the different prospects on which Safe Soil works. So that is how it occurred, that Safe Soil is a movement that is correct for us as an eco-sustainability club to be with. You have different geopolitical leaders talking about Safe Soil. We have different celebrities talking about Safe Soil. We have many people around the globe who have been talking about Safe Soil. And what is more to Safe Soil is Sadhguru himself as a man, driving his bike and going from cities, from countries, around the border, across the border, and giving out the message, and vivaciously telling people now that it's a high time that we should get it. If we don't save soil, and this degradation this happens as it has been happening till now, that is how we'll be finished. Because as we go, that we are all made from soil, and we are going to go and degrade in soil. But if there's no quality soil that can degrade the matter that comes to the soil, it is of no use. I think Safe Soil as a movement, and Safe Soil, we being a partner, we are honored to the moon. Definitely Safe Soil is one such thing that is there. And I think when Safe Soil thing happened, every one of us had a different vitality, a different energy altogether, because the people that came from there, they had this different glow, they had this different aura of how they made the audience capture of whatever they wanted to say. I think me and my team had this different resonation that really happened, especially me, because I've been seeing Safe Soil and how the trajectory really went for Safe Soil, where global leaders have started speaking about Safe Soil, not just as an agenda for geopolitics, but as real concern towards how they really want to bring about as their individuality altogether. So I think I think I was the one who was always in that excitement zone during the Safe Soil thing. So that is how Safe Soil really happened. We are really honored, because Shaashwat is a very small thing, inside a very small campus, and a magnanimous movement like Safe Soil was able to capture Shaashwat Club with them, and openly coming to collaborate, openly coming to share their ideas and giving it to us as from their team to ours, as if we never thought of that we met just 5 minutes before. It was always like we had been meeting each other like friends, and photos and those things happen, but what really don't happen with people is the energy connection that really comes. And that really happened with those 4 people who came from there, and they had this precarious things that they made us understand. But I think great reverence for Safe Soil and the man behind it.
Okay, so as an advisory board member, Lavesh, what would you like to tell the current team members, and how was your experience?
I'll start with the experience. I'll start with my experience. So I joined Shaashwat in 2020 as a department head, and since then I'll always have been supported, and I've always been learning from the seniors that were there. I'll take names in here. Cheryl was there, Om Naik was there, Juhi was there. These were some of the names that have always made me to see on a very different perspective. Now also when I get into some trouble, as far as club fraternities are concerned, I make sure that I have a wise advice that comes really. Decision is mine, but you get a different perspective, especially when you are illusioned with different things, when you have your mindset clouded with so many things around you. So I think these were the people who really had made Shaashwat to go on, especially during COVID, because it was a different situation altogether. Every one of us, I think we didn't know what to do, and I joined Shaashwat in COVID, right? So first of all, when I joined Shaashwat, I was like, fine, okay, I want to give it as someone who has that responsibility towards environment. But when I actually went in there were so many things to really explore. I mean, I sort of regret being into COVID, because these people have the most fun now. Because during COVID, I think there were so many things that I didn't experience, as in on-site things that these people go and do, the fun that they have, the shit that they make around. So they have, they have everything. But I think my experience was totally different. So they are always different. As far as what I am going to advise them, I think, as I always say to other teams or to anyone who asks me that how does this happen, I always say do it on your terms, right? Situations are different, placements are different to different situations, and there are different challenges that I have faced and to anyone here faces, right? And to any, as far as individual is concerned, as far as club fraternity is concerned, I always say this many a times, that have your own story, because you own that story. The trajectory you have, the success stories you have, the failures that you have, the people that you have with you are your own. And I'll give you the contacts, I'll give you the networkings, but what really works is you making it happen. And overall, the team, I don't say it openly, but since it is an interview and I would have to say it because specifically the question is asked, the team is passing. The team has already passed with flying colors for me, because the way I have given them after COVID and on-site when they are there as a core team, like Shara, everyone rather, as the core team, they have taken it always up with Kirloskar and with every other moment that comes. Because to be honest, I was very unsure, not of these people, but as team as a whole, on how are we going to make that next step. But as much as I regret saying this now, but yes, the team is doing absolutely fine. And that is what the point is, that with Cheryl and Om, they've always told me one thing, or at least I got this one thing, is that good leaders try to bring about leaders. And that is why I don't worry about them. They do their own things. I poke my noses many a time, but they are okay with it. Right? Because as an advisory, I have to make sure.
Actually, we are happy with it.
Yeah, I'm glad. No, but the point is, with advisory, this is my responsibility, because to every other positions that I am with here and with any other team, I make sure I work. I just don't want to sit, putting my name on LinkedIn and having that post and having that big headline on LinkedIn. That is not what I do. So overall, I think to this team, to every audience that is seeing us here, it's all what they do. Every team has their own face values, but the team has always made up to a graph, and the tangent and the trajectory that they have taken is incredible.
And we are really honored to have such great advisory board, including Lavesh, Akansha, Moini, as well as Om. So he is a super senior for us, but I have met him and it was like, he's something great. Like, his words were so wise that hit me.
Om and Cheryl and some of the people, as I said, they have this different love and magnetism towards Shaashwat. They take it as their own. Even the founder that we have, Mr. Ashish Joshi, they have their own things, So even if we call them and we put on something, so nobody in here tries to interfere with anyone, because we exactly know everyone has their own way of how, and that is what I've really taught, and that is what I really do in person. So I won't expect my team to do to work under me or something like that, or work on my orders. I won't do that because I don't do it myself. But having said so, there is a bound that as a club advisory I have to make up on the team that is concerned, because what they see are 10 steps, what I have to see are the 30 steps, around those 10 steps coming for every club that is concerned.
He told now he always poke his nose. No, actually, there is some pressure. When we give one pressure, then only things work. So I can say he has been like a good pressure for us, and we are working very nicely with him. So thank you, Lavesh, for all this.
Right.
And we are not doing something new. Like we have seen them doing all this managing events and all. We are just trying to put a foot on their steps and go forward, and that's it.
And this is the point actually, like as he said, they have seen us working, but really we have worked in COVID. Then
Yeah.
to they've observed us from a different perspective, from sitting back to the theater and observing us how we were doing it. But generally, how they did it, that is their own story again. But I think whatever they did and however they are doing now, whatever happened in between this as a buffer thing, it is coming out very differently and in a very positive manner. That is what I want to say.
So as a president, I always say Prasad vice president, as he was an ex-president, vice president. So I always say Prasad that please look at him, how he used to do, check
Yeah.
him out, and that's it.
Actually, and I do follow him.
Okay, so thank you so much, guys, for sparing your valuable time, coming over and sharing our audience so much. And it was a pleasure having you all here. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.